let me just restart. Sorry. We're very excited to have you here today. And I just wanted to introduce Mary Rabago really quick. We're very excited to partner with her and grow with Google. Mary has an extensive background in social media and marketing. She has spent her career building trust and credibility with the community as an award-winning journalist, TV news anchor, and personality for Univision. She has recently partnered with Google in helping businesses grow through Google. And so we're so happy that she's going to go ahead and launch these on a monthly basis with our chamber. So if you wanted to go ahead, Mari, the floor is all yours.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I was waiting for the cue. Thank you, Amapola and Joanna. It's a pleasure to be here with you guys. My name is Mary Rabago from Grow with Google. I'm one of 20 digital coaches in the country. I have the honor to be the Arizona digital coach with this program that it was created for people like you and myself, small business owners, entrepreneurs, right? And to give all the tools so we can run our businesses a lot more successful and make our daily duties or routines a lot easier, right? With all these digital tools with Google. So thank you so much. I'm going to ask you to join us in conversation. I would like to know your name and the name of your company in the chat. I am going to be sharing a lot of information and links in the chat, so keep an eye on that. And the people that more participate are the ones going to have some surprises later on. So I would urge you to participate within the chat of this webinar, so we can be in contact. If you have any questions or comments, I will be checking the chat also. So establish a professional domain, website, and email for your business. I believe nowadays, especially after the hit of the pandemic and the world, having the presence online is a must for most of us with the small businesses, right? It's very important to create our brand, to communicate and reach out to potential new clients, right? Plus retain the ones that we have at the moment. So it's very important for us to have this presence. And I would like for you guys to tag me, to stay in contact with me. You can follow me on social media. I am very active. I just share with you on the chat the information on how to get a hold of me. For those of you that don't know my background, I've been in media for 29 years, 20 of those years working as a main anchor with Univision locally and in California as a correspondent. In the last 9 years, I've been an entrepreneur myself. I own a marketing agency, Mary Rabago Productions. And I am that bridge to the Latino by Empowered. I educate my community about products and services that enhance their daily life. But I also have the duality of educating, the companies, organizations, and nonprofits in the general market about how to really connect with the Latino community and how to really maximize their potential with the By Empower also. So I've been a digital coach with Google for almost 2 years now, and I love what I do because educating my community, it's, and part of the big mission and passion that I have. So let's get started. A domain name gives your business credibility online. That's the bottom line. It is so important for you guys to have one, especially if you are just launching your business, you are a new business owner, this would be very beneficial for you. And also, if you already have a domain, in a way that you can maximize the use of that domain and make it easier and more productivity for you, I think it's going to be very beneficial for you to participate. The more you participate, the more questions you ask, the more comments you give, the more you will get out of this workshop as any other workshop, right? So even if you're in that early stages of building your business, or if you think it's simply a side hustle that you're bringing into a little bit of extra cash, getting a domain name gives your business credibility, like I mentioned before. And throughout this workshop, we will be using a made-up website, stasisbakery.com. So keep that in mind, because we're going to be using that as an example that you can replicate or adapt to your needs and your current situation, okay? A domain name also allows you to create a professional email address, which is a bonus on that, right? Further establish your business credibility, which is a must in this world, especially with the presence online. It is a small detail, but a professional email address indicates the level of professionalism and performance to potential customers. So keep that in mind. This is the agenda for today. So what is the domain name? We're going to cover these topics, how to choose a domain name for your business, registering your domain name with Google Domains, and how to build a no-cost website with Google Sites, and also how to set up a professional email address with your new domain name. So all of that are topics that we're going to be covering today in our workshop, okay? Now, let's start from the beginning. What exactly is a domain name? You may be asking yourself. Well, basically, as a domain name is the name of your website. Think about google.com, which is, Google is my best friend, not only as a digital coach with Google, but as a business owner. Everything I need to know, everything I want to find out, I go to Google for. Especially, I don't know about you ladies, but I cannot get anywhere with Google Maps. So with that said, I would like for you guys to put in the chat at this time, what digital tools of Google are you currently using in your business, in your daily activities? Let's say, are you using Google Docs? Are you using Google Maps? Are you using the Drive? Are you using the slides? Please go ahead and share with me in the chat. I would love to get to know a little bit more about the composition of the group and what is it that I can bring more added value to you guys today, okay? So when you establish and register a domain name for your business, you have a carve somehow out the right to use that name online, meaning that nobody else can have your name online. You pretty much, mark your territory with that name online, and that is going to be where your presence would be. Jonathan Temple says Google Docs, Sheets, and Drive. Thank you so much for joining us today, Jonathan. Hope to bring a lot of value for your activities. So registering a domain name is the first step to having an online presence, since it is a web address known as URL, and the name of the website. That terms may seem interchangeable, so keep that in mind. But domain name, the website, and the URL have three distinctive meanings. So here are they. First of all, as I mentioned, the domain name is the name of the website, the part you see after the www.com. In a professional email address, it comes after the @ symbol. A website is a collection of content, often named upon a multiple web pages that is grouped together. This is very separate from the domain name, but you can associate the two. So you will type, let's say, for an example, a domain name to access the website content. Just a little bonus for you. Please take note of this. The web pages, videos, and other content that makes up the website live on a computer are called a server. So the space on this server is provided by companies that are called hosting providers, right? And a third, when it comes to the URL, is a web address. That's like your physical location on the web, just like you have your business location. If you have a physical location, if you have a, let's say, a beauty shop, if you have a tire shop, if you have a boutique, you have a physical location most likely for that, and probably also given some other services online, right? So the website is actually your address on the internet, in pretty much for you to understand. So it's really never too soon nor too late for a small business or a lone entrepreneur to plan their digital presence. And like I mentioned at the beginning of this conversation, more than ever, we need a digital presence. So Melissa Lambert says, from where I sit in a branch, we use the search most of all, but Maps is vital in our process of making sure we obtain required residential address information. Great, Melissa. And you will find that a lot of the tools and resources I will be providing for you. So make sure you're copying any links that I'm going to be sharing in the space of the chat, because that's going to be very helpful for the type of duties that you have daily. So thank you so much for participating and for being here with us today. So As I said, what are you doing is taking out the claim of your business name online. So when you are ready to use it, nobody can. When I was going to launch my business, Mary Rabago Productions, I wanted to take advantage of the branding that I have with my own name for 20 years in the media. So my website, if you look for it, it's maryrabago.com. Why? Because why change it if it's not broken, right? People knew my name. I was a household name with a lot of Latinos because I would be in their households every day, twice a day, giving the daily news. So I took advantage of those years in the media with my name to bring it into my company. If you notice, the name of my company also includes my personal name, Mary Rabago Productions, right? So keep that in mind in case you're launching your business. It has to do something relatable to the type of service or products you're doing or the branding that you may have already, right? So just a tip for you. Having a domain name is important for showing up in the search results. When customers search online, your domain and website can show up in the search results. Brand building by controlling how your business shows up on the web, and also with that domain, you own how your business shows up on the web. So you don't limit yourself to any articles or any comments someone else can share on the web about your business or your products or your service. You're controlling the message, you're controlling the information. And also it shows a lot more professional, right? Today's consumer or they expect the business to have a website. Having a customer domain name shows a level of your professionalism and instills the confidence in the potential clients. I don't know about you guys, but every time I'm going to buy any products, whether it's hair products or any products for my business, the first thing I do is Google them, look for the best options, and I get a list of different companies providing those services or those products. And then I make my decision based on their reviews, based on the quality of their service or the product, and how quick or accessible it is for me. So that's why it's so important to have that presence online. Choose a domain name. This is probably one of the things that you have to give some thoughts and plan it ahead and brainstorm a little bit. If you have a team within your business, maybe it would be a good idea to do so. So now that you have decided that you like to register a domain name for your business, it is important that you choose a good one. And I'll give you some tips on how choosing the best domain for your business, okay? So the goal is to have a good one, not perfect, and nothing is perfect. We're not perfect, right? But an average domain name is better than a domain with no name, right? So that's very important for most business. The starting point is the business name. Just like I said, and I shared with you guys that I took advantage of the branding that my personal name had already and carry that to my business name. Well, think about it in a way that you can probably incorporate that within your business. If you have a reputation in the type of service or products you provide and you want to stop working for the corporation, you're going to launch your own business, maybe utilizing some of the branding that you already have within the domain name or the name of your business would be very profitable too. So keep that in mind. And don't worry that you are somehow settling if the name you hope for is not available. You have to check, first of all, that name is available. You can always, make it a little bit more trendy or relatable to your business because there's a lot of options, and I'll show you how to do that. So considerations for choosing the right name. First of all, keep it short, 2-3 words, no more than that. Use keywords and brand names. Remember, I go back to my example. I use my name and my last name because they were part of the branding that I have done already. And I added productions because productions, you entitle a big array of different services that I provide. So those are the 3 words that I use for the creation of my business, and also the domain includes that. So that's somehow in a way that you can bring that to your particular situation and adapt it. Consider alternative domains endings. So most of us are somehow used to using that .com, but there are a lot of other options. Use the brand and keywords. And the third, like I mentioned, dig a little bit deeper into each of the tips. We'll show you here. We'll walk you step by step. Keep it short and simple. You believe that years ago, someone registered and used the domain name Michael Jackson's It's Movie merchandise.com. So Michael Jackson, this is movie merchandise.com. Imagine trying to search for something like that. It's very descriptive, but you can imagine trying to remember that, right? So that's probably not the way or the route that you want to go with registering the domain for your business. Resist the urge to get overly creative. For example, keep it very, very simple. That would be my best advice. First impression and attempt to capture an emotion you might try to register. So let's say, using back the example that we started this workshop with, Stacy's Bakery makes the world's best cupcakes you have ever tried. And, in many ways, delicious they are.com, something like that. Imagine that, it's huge. So first of all, remember that you only have a limit of 253 characters long for that domain. This is, some of the sites may have a smaller limit, so keep that in mind. So let's go with something like stacysbakery.com. It's going to be a lot easier to remember, to type in. It's short and it would be simple. Keep it simple. You want people to remember the domain name and type it accurately. So using overly complicated, uncommon, or difficult spell words puts it up an unnecessary stumbling block for a lot of the people. Remember, you want it to show up right away in the searches so you can start attracting more potential clients. You also want to avoid hyphens, numbers, or deliberate misspelling. Keep that in mind. Even if it makes sense to you, you run the risk of confusing the customers. I have a good example of that. Let's use a last name that is very common in the Latino community, Gonzalez. We know that it's spelled with a Z at the end. A lot of people spell it with an S. So that could prevent people to get into your site if you choose to add that and you use a different spelling than the more common one. So keep that in mind, okay? Any questions so far? Because I know I'm going fast and I'm getting excited to share all this information, but I want to make sure you guys, if you have any questions or comments, make sure you go ahead and add those in the chat. I am checking the chat and I can bring that to your attention and answer any questions or concerns you may have. Okay, keywords, they help find you in a search. So if I put production, I can assure you, and I am searching that keyword in the area of Phoenix, my company is going to pop up in your search because it's one of the keywords. The brand, include your brand name to stand out. Like I said, I use my name and last name because I already had a branding, right? So you might think about incorporating that also within your process of choosing your domain. And also, I would encourage you to go beyond the .com at the end of your domain name. There's a lot of options beyond .com. If that's not available for your domain, let's say you're looking for, Arizona carshow.com, and that is already taken. Well, you can use a .net. You can look for Arizona Car Show in the West Valley. Add something that it would bring a little bit of difference and give you the edge and make it easy to find on the search, right? There are a lot of Google domains to see what extensions are available, right? Like .net, .biz, .site, and so forth and so on. So the most popular domain ending or top level domains, TLD as they're called, but there are now a wide variety. Some Google domains, just to give you an example, offers more than 300 options for you. So don't limit yourself, explore and choose the one that is going to make you more comfortable and will represent your business a lot better and easy in the search. So when you have found that domain name you want, it is time to make it official by registering. So this is the process that you will be taking to register your domain, right? I will show you some Google domains. So imagine a long-established candy shop called Sally's in bustling downtown. One day, a new ice cream place opens up just 3 doors down, and they put up a sign saying, Sally's. Confusing, right? Well, think about that. and adapted that to your own name and the type of business you're in. So the Internet Corporation for Assigning Names and Numbers is called ICANN, the managed domains name, so that there's no confusion about where you will end up. The domain registrar are accredited and they have the access to sell the domain name. So it's very important that you go to the right process, right? So benefits of Google domains, just to give you some, the domain have a forwarding. It don't have a website domain. Forwarding allows you to send customers to your online store or social media page, which is very important. Right nowadays, you have to have that connectivity among and across the board when it comes to your online presence. There's no cost to factor authentication. To keep your domain name secure, the Google domain covers the cost of keeping your personal contact information private on public databases, and also keeps a track of your domain name users. This is one way to prevent the spam. Also, registering with Google domains connects you to other Google tools such as Google Sites, Google Workspace, Search Consoles, Analytics, and that can help you grow your business. So we'll be talking about this later on today. And the prices will not automatically increase on subsequent years. So that's another thing. I don't know about you, but I love to keep myself in a budget when it comes to personal and especially in the business, so I can maximize my income when it comes to the business, right? Search for the domain name you want. I would encourage you to do that right now. And I am going to be sharing with you also on the chat right now how you can access the Google domain. So I am sharing with you right now on the chat. Make sure you copy this link and you keep it for after the workshop. You can decide if you want to try this, because the benefits are, as I said, many of them. So go to domains.google.com and type in the domain name that you want to use. Let's do this for fun and let me know if it's taken or is available. Who can share that with me? So I'll be looking at this chat. If you can do that exercise with me, open a new tab and go and look for domains.google.com and type in the name of the company or the domain that you want to register. And it's going to tell you immediately some of the insights as the circle graphic that we're seeing right now. It's going to tell you if it is too long, if it is memorable, is it easy to spell and pronounce? So keep that in mind and ask those questions to yourself before you choose it. You also see a list of alternative domains name ending on this page. If one appeals to you, type it into the search box to check the insights for the revised name, and be aware that some of these domains endings are priced differently. So keep that in mind, please. Any questions so far, Joanna? We're doing good? Okay, perfect. It seems like no questions or comments on the chat yet, correct? Good. That thumbs up helps me keep going. So once you have decided on the name, add it to your shopping cart by clicking on the cart icon, just like I'm showing you on this graphic. Once you have done that, you will see the price in terms of the domain registration in the cart, along the some additional options for the purchase. For example, you may choose to upgrade to include Google Workspace, where you can get custom email addresses for you and your staff or your employees, and also using the domain name. Let's think about Mr. Big at bigbiz.com. We'll talk more a little bit about this and how you can adapt it to your own name, okay? Review your purchase and click buy. Your domain name is now registered. You own that domain name, and that would be where you're going to be doing business. That's your presence. That's your territory online. Okay. So transferring an existing domain name, this is important too, because some of you guys probably are taking over some of someone else's business. If you're buying a small business in an example, right? Maybe you already had a domain name that you have registered elsewhere, but you would like it to bring it into Google domain offers because of the feature that offers. Well, you can easily transfer the existing domain name to Google Domains by clicking transfer. That's all you need to do. And then it's going to prompt this page with follow the steps, fill up the information. And by that process, you had transferred your domain now to the Google site. So ideally, the domain name you choose is available, but if it isn't, always the case. Well, so what you can do is after you search for the domain name you want, you discover that someone else already have taken it or have registered. You may find that making a simple change will add to the result. Let's say if you're going to do, Avondale Bakery, instead of just using the first name of the bakery, you can put, Garcia's Bakery in Avondale, Garcia's Bakery in Litchfield Park. In that way, you can just add one word and still keep the branding that you have, but also be more appealing to the local clients because you're specifying where you are located. That's a way that you can also work with adding that information to your domain and make it more localized. So time to put your domain naming skills to the test. Okay, start by brainstorming. At this time, I hope you're making notes, you're taking notes, you're choosing a domain name that would be likely to be used for your business. Then come up with 3 variations of the name, 3 different names that you may be able to use that will still work well for your business, and go to domains.google.com and type each name and check if they're available. Again, I will be sharing with you in the chat the link so you can go ahead and do that. And this is obviously for people that have not registered your domain yet, that don't have a website presence yet, but are looking to create their own domain, right? As I mentioned earlier, that getting a domain name was the first step in establishing your online presence, and you need it for the next steps, building and publishing a website. Let's go through the steps. And again, if you have any questions, make sure you go ahead and type it in the chat, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. So you may find the idea of building a website overwhelming, but with you believing that you don't need to understand programming or design to create a site on your own, yes, it's very simple, and I'm going to show you how. So Google Sites includes a web page templates that you can populate with content, move, drag, drop, edit to suit you at no cost. So the work has been done for you already. Plus, multiple people can work on the site together in real time. You can have staff helping you, adding content, changing images, changing videos, the copy, whatever you need. Plus, this way also, if you ever use Google Docs, which is one of my favorite items to go with Google, and I used it every day in my work environment, my business, you know how it works, right? It's very simple. So as you work together, you see and edit as that happens in real time. So that's one of the benefits of having Google Sites. And the only thing is that any changes, any editing that you can do, you will only be doing it in a desktop, on a computer, not on a phone or other device. Okay, keep that in mind also. You do not need to register a domain name with Google Domains to use Google Sites. That's another advantage. If you already have a domain and you want to transfer, like I mentioned, to Google, you can do that automatically and connected. When you have it with Google Domains, you're going to have that connected account by clicking the website on the left navigation, as you see on that screen. Click on the link in the card label, build a new website if you do not have one. Okay, now you will see a screen that asks, what type of website do you want to build? It's a very important question. So from here, you have the options to select other companies that have website builder products that partner with Google Domains. To connect Google Sites, click that option, Simple Site powered by Google Sites. That is the option that you should be getting. Follow the prompts and your domain name will be associated with the site you built. As simple as that. Any questions so far? We're doing good. I see thumbs up, so we keep moving. You don't have to have the Google domain to use Google Sites like I mentioned before. In fact, you don't even need a domain name to build a no-cost site. First step is go to sites.google.com, as I have shared with you that on the chat already. And on the top of the page, you'll see a template gallery. Click on the arrows next to the template gallery to see the site design options like portfolios, restaurants, class, and etc. Find the template that you like and click on it to select it. Once you have selected that, well, it is time to build your site. add, delete, organize the pages, edit the text and the image, add the files, the videos, and start having fun with it. What would you like to see it? That is very important. Thank you so much, Joanna, for sharing the link again for those people that are just joining us and those that are watching on any of the social platforms. Make sure you're taking screenshots of the slides that I am sharing with those links. That way you can go ahead and practice after the workshop, okay? Right now it's important for you to put attention and take all the notes that you can. Once you have chosen the project template for this example, at the center you'll see the text project name, an online description of the project. So you'll be very brief, straight to the point, and make sure you check your spelling and all that information. Simply click on that area and type in your name and title in the description. You'll do the same throughout the template. Click on the text boxes to open in your own copy. You can drag and copy from your Google Docs. I mean, this is very simple, and it's like creating a social media platform for yourself, but now you're doing it for your business. This is going to bring reputation, credibility, and it's going to show as a business that is more professional than one that would not have a presence online. So be creative, use colorful look, choose very wisely the images, the videos that you want to be sharing with that, and constantly try to keep it up, building up, adding more information, because this is going to be your preference of communication with any potential client. They're going to want to go and see your websites, talk about your products, your service, tell the story of why you opened the business, share with them, make it colorful. But even if you don't have that point, the template options that you have chosen, you can play around until you choose the right one that will work for the type of business that you have, okay? It gives a lot of options, a lot of categories, a lot of templates, so you have the time to explore. Once you have already, build it up, work on your copy, added your videos, added your pictures, replace that copy on the templates, where it's time now for you to make it public, to share it with others, to invite collaborators. Remember, some people in your staff can help you with this. You can designate somebody in your staff, or probably a website developer that can help you by adding the content, replacing it, so you can give access to those people also. And if you like what you see, if you're done with, building it up, populating, hit the publish button now on the top of the page. You'll be prompted to fill out your web address. Keep that in mind. If you don't have a domain yet, you can choose a word or a phrase. Your site URL will look like this. As I am going to be sharing with you what is the formula on the chat, so you can add your name on the site, and that's what it would be looking like, okay? But wait for it. If you just want to share with a close circle of colleagues before you go live, you can do that. You can hit the publish button, and then in the dialog box that comes up includes a section called who can view my site, and you can designate if you want to give feedback on what your site looks before you go public. You can manage all this. So remember, there's a lot of different options that you have. Play around with it and work around it. Remember, this is a business opportunity for you to really attract a lot of more new clients. A great website has this in common. It's goal-oriented, it's organized, it's useful to the visitor, it's functional, it's intuitive, and it's search friendly. Keep these items in mind and make sure that when somebody sees your website, can relate to these topics and would understand that this is how your website comes up, shows up, and represents. So I would like to do a quick activity, building a website in 3 minutes. How's that? Are you up for that? I am going to share with you again, open Google Sites. I gave you already the link as I'm showing there, and then you're gonna bring to the site homepage. At the top of the page, start a new site, and you'll see a number of templates. Choose it, start playing with it, put information, drag some of the pictures that you may have in your desktop, some of the videos, use your logo, and believe it or not, you can do this in 3 minutes. That quick it is. So Let's take a little bit closer view on this session and recap a little bit, okay? So you can get some information, and if you missed something that we can go over again. So we have already mentioned that a professional business email inspires confidence among customers, but just to emphasize, if you were ordering a wedding cake, would you be more likely to choose Stacey's Gal 615 at example.com or sales at stacysbakery.com? Which one would be more comfortable for you? So keep that in mind, because if you register a domain name like stacysbakery.com or stacysbakery.net with Google Domains, the registration includes the option to create 100 email aliases. So 100 emails you can have. Think about that. I don't think you would go through all those options, right? Aliases aren't separately email accounts, they exist just to forward emails to another address. Let's to give you an idea. I have an email that is mari@maryrabago.com. I have that forward to my Gmail. So everything comes into the Google email in the same email, and I don't miss any emails from future clients or potential clients from my website. That's what it means. And that's the opportunity that is giving you to do that. So that's one of the options. Also, setting up the email forwarding with Google Domains is straightforward. Start by signing to Google Domains and click it on My Domains. Then you're going to click Manage. Then you click Email. You'll see a dialog box titled Email Forwarding. In the box, click Add an Email Alias. And the email you want to create in the primary email address you want to connect. So you can do just like I said, I connected my mari@maryrabago.com into my Gmail. So I had to write the 2 emails there to connect. And you're going to click Add. That is as simple as the process. So you see, you can do that. I'm also going to talk to you a little bit about when you get the Google Domains, includes an email forwarding, but also forwarding, it's not the same as having an email account. Keep that in mind. If you're ready to create a professional business email with your domain name, you have the option to sign up with Google Workspace directly from your Google Domains account. And I am going to go ahead and share that with you on the link, on the chat again, the link, so you can have easy access, and you can do that after our workshop. So there we go. Briefly, I mentioned before Google Workspace, when we went over the steps to register the domain name, the Google domain, in addition to getting new business emails accounts, complete with inbox and all the other features and storage you find in the email program, well, Google Workspace includes a professional email address plus collaboration tools like calendar, the docs, the slides, and all the different beautiful and fun activities, digital tools that Google give to you. So keep that in mind where you're going to choose, okay? You can use it at no cost for 14 days. Try it out. And if you want to learn more about it, please visit the link that I just shared with you also, as it's g.co/workspace. I'm going to share with you guys on the chat for those people attending the live webinar right now. But for you guys watching in other platforms, just take a screenshot and go to the site and you'll get more information. That's a lot of information I've been sharing with you today. I would like to give you some resources. Key takeaways from today. A domain name is also, as we mentioned, the address of your website, the part you see after the www, right? Tip for choosing a domain name, well, keep it simple. Use keywords that relate to the type of business or products you're going to be offering, and consider alternative domains endings. Register a domain name via registrar like Google Domains. That would be a good option for you. Build a website and point your domain name to it so people can find you a lot easy. As we discussed, the option that I would recommend is Google Sites. Also, a professional email address is used connected to your domain name, so it gives you more credibility in front of potential clients. I want to share with you one of my favorite tools that I have that is also totally free for you. and I would highly recommend you start using is Google Console. This is going to give you the option once you have made the leap from registering your domain with Google Domains to build your website. You likely want to monitor how that site is doing, who visits your site, what actions are the visitors taking, who is doing purchasing in case you have an online store on your website. Well, all that you can keep track by using Google Search Console. So there's the link, and it's very easy to activate it. Another thing that I would recommend, and it's free to you too, in case you don't have it yet, I would highly recommend you to open a Google Analytics account. I'm sharing the link with you too, because that is going to be like the report of all the actions taken across your platform and any connectivity that you have to other social media platforms. Google Ads is going to tell you the route, the type of actions that your clients or visitors are taking, and you can use these insights with Google Analytics to make business decisions on the marketing and changing the branding, or designating probably an offer. You know, we're coming towards the end of the year. There's a lot of companies preparing to do big sales, you know, online, and preparing their offers. They're selling their specials. So that would be another way that you can use that. Keep learning on YouTube. I'm going to invite you to connect to YouTube. Google is one of it's free. It's like a free university, and all the topics, all the information. You can learn a lot about your industry, and learn what other business owners like yourself are doing in order to promote their business. Also, you have the opportunity to have your Google certificates. If you want to have, just like I had to get all the certificates to become a digital coach with Google, you can also do that to improve in your workspace, your work area, to get promoted, and also to learn how to utilize all different skills to grow your business. So I highly recommend you do that. It's free to you, it's accessible, and the benefits are nonstop. So I want to remind you that Grow with Google was created for entrepreneurs like yourself and myself, for job seekers, for teachers, for small business owners, like I said, but also developers, and is here providing free education to businesses and organizations like you. And I have a big surprise for you. This is a code that you can use in order for you to save 20% from now to the end of 2022, December 31st. If you want to use Google Domains, that would be a way to help your business, especially if you're starting your business in that aspect. And I would love for you to keep in touch, to stay connected, and to learn more about other webinars. We do it in Spanish and English. Joanna, do we have any questions at this moment? Any other information? And we also have some giveaways for people that were participating during this workshop. I want to thank you for your time, for joining us. And at this point, I would love to answer